Meanwhile, another possible blow to the war on terror, this time coming from the U.S. Supreme Court. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is your world. On the heels of that New York Times controversy today, the highest court of the land ruling against military tribunals for Gitmo prisoners. President Bush says that he will ask Congress to keep them going. But it does make you wonder, are some enemies laughing at us? A concern by Republican Senator Trent Lott of Mississippi, who joins us now. Senator, what do you think?
I think some people are probably laughing at us. This is ridiculous and outrageous. Now, in legal speak, let me say I have not read the entire opinion nor the dissents. But preliminarily, my opinion is they probably didn't even have jurisdiction. They shouldn't have ruled the way they did. This is not a bunch of pussycats we're talking about here. These are people that have made it clear in many instances that they would kill Americans if they got out. This is Osama bin Laden's driver. This is one other example of why the American people have lost faith in so much of our federal judiciary. This is a very bad decision, in my opinion.
Do you think it forces the president's hand, Senator, that he would have to shut down Gitmo? In his press conference today with the Japanese Prime Minister, he seemed to indicate no, but what do you think?
I don't think he necessarily has to shut it down right away. He's indicated that in an appropriate way and in the right time, he'd be delighted to shut down Gitmo. But I don't think that this decision forces that immediately. And by the way, I suspect that Congress may want to take a look at what we want to do in response to this. You know, sometimes the Supreme Court thinks they are the final arbiter, but they are not. The Congress and the voice of the American people have the final say.
Well, so what would you do?
Well, I want to look at that. I don't know. As a matter of fact, we did in an act back in 2005 basically say that the courts didn't have jurisdiction in this area, and I think part of the dissent by the three dissenters went to that effect, that they basically said that the Supreme Court did not have jurisdiction here.
So where is this all going, Senator? I mean, we have the New York Times thing that became a big crisis, where all of a sudden the financial records and the transactions maybe, underpinning Al-Qaeda is released to the public for all to see. You have this now. What's going on?
Well, what bothers me is that we are systematically and apparently steadily, through some in the news media, certainly not your network, but the New York Times and LA Times and sometime even the Wall Street Journal and others, and other things that are happening in terms of leaks or court rulings, we're taking away our ability to fight the war on terror. We've said that we cannot track these telephone conversations that they have internationally, and now it's been released that we had the ability to trace money. Now they were being said that we can't retain these people in Guantanamo, and the president, they allege, exceeded his authority there. Is there not a pattern here? We are making our effort to trace, track, and deal with terrorists extremely difficult. I can't understand that in view of what we saw on 9/11 and things we've seen all over the world ever since.
Do you think these twin events, the New York Times, LA Times, Wall Street Journal release, this development by the Supreme Court today, heightens the possibility of another attack?
It could, because we are revealing our means and methods in many ways of tracking and dealing with these terrorists. I think that, they obviously might see an opportunity, or perhaps they're, angered at what we have done to try to deal with them. It's certainly not positive, but I also think there's another side to this coin, and that is the American people will certainly get the feeling and will understand that a lot of people in our society and in our media and in our court system are undermining our ability to do everything we can to protect and keep Americans free.
Senator Trent Lott, thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.